ADHDers and allies, you're listening to the ADHD and Me podcast with me, ADHD Girl. And today's episode is all about music. Yeah, we're talking to a jazz pianist who hails from LA, who has collaboratively developed software to help neurodivergent people to be able to learn how to play the piano in a way their brains can understand. Okay, so I'm so excited about this conversation today because I'm a huge fan of music. Obviously, I have ADHD. Patrick seems to be a perfect combination of those. Welcome to the ADHD and Me podcast, Patrick. It's lovely to have you today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. I think this is going to be a wonderful conversation.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, sure. I've gone through many iterations on what I do for a living. I started off as an actor out here in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
I out of college, I got representation. And so I did a couple movies. I did some TV shows. I've done a bunch of random stuff too.
So cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. But the problem with it was like the breaks between each project were too big.
Yeah.
I still had to have a day job. I was a waiter and I wasn't getting creatively fulfilled from one project to the next. It was like I was getting creatively fulfilled during the project that lasted for a couple of days afterwards. And then it just slowly started to go down. My worrying brain and my obsession brain was just like, am I terrible? Am I terrible? I'm not good. I'm not good. And then I started I kept auditioning and then I got another job and then like my self-confidence rose. But it was that up and down.
And that's what people don't get about acting, do they? It's not, unless you're like one of the big famous ones, like it is, like you have a lot of downtime in between. I think I'd struggle with that as well.
It's the worst. And mine were really large gaps. I did smaller projects with friends and everything like that in between, but still, it wasn't really satisfying me creatively and financially. And so I got really burnt out at year 5 and year 6. And so my girlfriend at the time, my current wife, my wife right now, and we got married last year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. She was like, Pat, why don't you go play piano? You've been playing piano your entire life. Why don't you go try to do that? And I was like, it's too close to my heart. It's too close to my soul. I don't want to bastardize my love of piano. And she's, are you freaking kidding me, Pat? You're an actor. You put yourself out there like that. Why don't you put yourself out there as a musician?
That was amazing.
Yeah, she was being a little bit of a dick, but like, it was great. It was great. It's exactly what I needed. I needed that push. And I was like, okay, Wesley, stop yelling at me. I'll go do it. And so I did. And 3 months later, I started getting some gigs. I got my first job as an after-school accompanist for an after-school musical theater and choir program. I then started playing jazz around at a couple different clubs. I got some residencies there. And then I got my piano bar that I've been playing there for 6 years now.
Wow.
And so that piano bar has been really great. And then I still act on occasion. But it was during that transition of, okay, I became a pianist. And I'm like, look, if I can be a professional pianist and gosh, I'm all over the place, of course. Let me go back and tell you how I taught myself how to play piano. I took 8 years of lessons and I hated it. My ADHD brain did not work well with that sort of pedagogy. Did you ever learn how to play an instrument?
I did try to learn to play the piano and I couldn't, which is where I'm so interested in this conversation.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's talk about this because I'm like curious why it didn't work for you. Can you explain it at all?
It was just the method being used. There wasn't anything new to keep me interested as much as I still regret giving up piano, which is weird because I couldn't learn it. I tried. But I also regret not giving it another go because I think it would be so cool to be able to play the piano.
Sure, of course. I don't fault you for not giving it another try. I hope you don't either. Because the methods that we've been using for piano teaching is the same way that we've been doing it for thousands of years. Okay, not thousands. The pianoforte was created in like 1500s or 1600s or something like that. But the way that we've been teaching playing an instrument, shall we say, has been the same way for thousands of years. Your teacher gives you a new skill, whether that's a new rhythm or a new note or whatever, new concept, and then says, okay, here's a song. Now go home and practice that to boredom, and then repeat it over and over until you get it perfect, and then come back to me and I'll check it off as correct, or I will say, no, that's wrong. Go home and practice that again. Now, the problem is there's a few things here, right? Number one, we're repeating the same thing over and over. That doesn't work for our brains. It never worked for me. I got bored.
Yeah, it works for neurotypical people because a lot of people learn through trial and error or trial and like kind of improvement. We're not built that way in that sense.
In that sense, at least,
Yeah.
because it's the same material. The problem is that it's the same material over and over,
Yeah.
and you're just treading that same path in your
becomes
brain.
mundane.
So mundane. And so it doesn't work as like a skill acquisition method because you're not learning that skill in the context of what you can apply it. You're learning that skill in just one specific context of that one specific song.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the problem. It's not cumulative skill acquisition. And people are not gratified by it. They're super down on it. And it's on like you, the onus is on you to go home and practice that. So my teacher retired after 8 years, no fault of my own. I was a terrible student. I think that's a general theme here. It's like the traditional ways of teaching do not work for our brains, right? Our neurodivergent brains. And so we try to find new ways to do it. And I think the beauty of having ADHD was like, okay, because I wanted to keep playing. I ended up finding a new way to continue to play. Here's what I did. I went to my parents' sheet music. They had a bunch of musical theater, okay? A bunch of scores and whatnot. So I went to my parents' sheet music and I found little phrases, little bits that I really enjoyed, whether that's a motif or a pattern on your hands or something that felt really good for me, or a melody that I really loved. And I just grabbed that and I put that in my brain and I closed the sheet music. And then I started improvising around that little specific phrase. I put it in different contexts. I inverted it. I put it in the right hand, the left hand. I changed the key. I changed the time signature.
Wow.
Like I really messed with it and I really fleshed it out. Okay. The thing about that was that in retrospect, I was learning these core principles of musical theater, these core bits that kept popping up over and over in different songs. So when I ended up going to another song and finding a similar phrase, I was able to play it verbatim. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. Because I realized that in college, I just kept doing that sort of that methodology. I just kept doing that methodology, getting a phrase, improvising around it, really getting it in my body, doing it again. It was new material every time. It was a new improvisation every time. But I was repeating the fundamental skill that I wanted to learn, right? That phrase. Fast forward to college, I was the only acting major that could play piano. And all the musical theater people were throwing songs in front of me in the recital halls, being like, hey, can you play this? I really want to get this ready for an audition. I really want to get this ready. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's play it. And I was playing it and I realized, oh my gosh, I can actually play this without, I don't know the song at all. I've broken musical theater apart so deeply that now I'm able to actually sight read that.
Yeah.
Fast forward to my pivot from acting into music performance, into piano performance. Look, I can sight read musical theater pretty darn well now. And I think that is a skill that a lot of people, and that has made me get so many other jobs out here in Los Angeles, prepping people for auditions, playing for auditions. Like a theater company will hire me to just play for auditions because they'll throw musical theater pieces in front of me that I've never seen before. And I can just play it. The piano bar, right? It's a musical theater, Disney, pop rock, millennial stuff piano bar. It's a very specific vibe, but it works great for me because that's my repertoire. I know that, and it's a fully requested show. Everybody just throws their requests at me and tips me and I'll play it. So it works great for that. This sort of sight reading first approach is ultimately what the app that I made called MuseFlow, that's what it's based off of. It's based off of how I taught myself how to play piano. And it takes the act of sight reading, puts that first, and then you learn the new skills and principles, the building blocks of Western music. You learn that outside of songs. And then once you've learned it, once you've fleshed it out, we've gamified it a little bit. You have to get 4 phrases of music in a row at 95% accuracy at the goal tempo to pass a level. Then once you've successfully mastered that new skill, then you go apply it to songs. Okay, songs get unlocked after that. It works great for my brain. It's working great for a lot of other people's brains. I am excited for your audience to hear about this because it's so perfect for my ADHD brain. Right?
And also your story is so inspirational on so many levels because I went a different way. I didn't like the way I was taught, so I became a teacher, then realized that nobody wanted me to teach in a way that others could learn from in that respect. So I went a different vibe. I love people who find a way that doesn't work for them and push through it and create their own way. I think it's such a good thing. And it sets that mind frame, doesn't it? Of don't give up, just find another way. So I'm a big music lover, as you can tell, because I'm getting even more and more excited the more we get into this conversation. Love musical theatre, love all different kinds of music, from classical to pop to disco, all of it. So what I wanted to ask you is, do you think that music and ADHD are very closely linked? Do you think we're set to enjoy music because we're so passionate, or do you think it's just a personal preference and everyone's different in that regard?
I wonder. I don't know if there's been a study that's out there that is people with ADHD are more likely to enjoy music. I don't know if that's true or not. And I can see how, like, qualitatively we would enjoy music more. Yes, of course, we're very passionate people. We are. If you were very lucky enough to have parents and teachers that fostered your creativity and your passion and your love for things and your excitement, like, I was really lucky to have people in my life that were like, you're just a very vivacious person. Keep that up. You're amazing. Instead of tamping it down.
Yeah.
I think if we're allowed to express ourselves the way that we want to, the way that we're more likely meant to do it, then absolutely music is going to be a part of that, because we love to move.
That's so true, isn't it?
We bounce. We inherently bounce. Rhythm is just so a part of our lives, and movement and swaying, like, we're always moving. So I think if we are able to link that to music enjoyment, that would be a really cool thing.
Yeah. And do you ever get, I think I've heard the term musical earworms, like, because sometimes, like, I don't know if I'll hear the song or I'll just get it stuck in my head, and then for days I'll just want to listen to that song on repeat or hum along to it.
Yeah, obsessed with it, right?
Yeah.
Wicked just came out in America.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah,
Did you see the movie?
Yes.
You saw the movie?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I've already seen it twice. And it's so good, but I come home and my wife is singing it, I'm singing it, and then I go to bed with one of the songs in my head, and I wake up with the same freaking song in my head. Yeah. It's so frustrating, but at the same time, I'm like, why criticize yourself? You're enjoying it too.
It's like you've got to play the hell out of it. It's like you've got to get it out of your system.
Yeah, for sure. Got to get it out of your system, for sure.
And I love the fact that your app is all about self-learning as well, because I'm a really big fan of that. The more you learn about how you learn as a person, and the more that you can learn the more you're able to learn in your own way. So it is all about learning how you learn and self-learning. Yeah. Do you think ADHDers respond well to that method?
Absolutely. My God. Because I'm such an auditory learner. I digest information so much better through listening to it than reading it. If I knew that when I was in elementary school or junior high, my life would be completely different. Yeah. If I had the tools available to read my textbook, take a picture of the pages itself and have my computer read me the textbook at the same time, my life would be completely different. Exactly. I would have been better at school. Like, now we're creating these tools for neurodivergent people and for people that learn in a different way. And MuseFlow is one of those things. It's allowing you to tap into flow state, which I think is so necessary for people with ADHD. Yeah. We need to be constantly stimulated, just a little bit challenged. So we're just right outside of our comfort zone, not too much so that we're anxious, not too little that we're bored. We need to find that flow and challenge us just a little bit. And MuseFlow does that. Would you also
call flow state the same as hyperfocus in a way? Because that's right. I thought you were going, because I love hyperfocus. I always feel like if I could be hyperfocused all the time, I really think I could do world domination or something.
Oh my God, totally, right? No, but it's true though. If you could focus on every activity that you were doing throughout the day, it like deeply focused, like in the moment, deeply present, time goes away and you're just there with that task, life would be completely different. And that's what we're doing with music education.
Yeah. And that's basically the biggest issue with ADHD, isn't it? Because the issue is a lack of focus due to we're not engaged. Whereas your app is all about solving that problem.
Solving it in a way that is very personal to you. Yeah. You can find because it's a self-learning app, you can place yourself wherever you fit within the curriculum. Okay. Yeah, and we do like soft unlock stuff, right? So if you're a completionist, you'll want to start at the beginning and go all the way to the end. But if you are just like, I want to find where my skill matches the challenge of the level, you can pick that level and then go from there. Yeah. You can drop yourself inside of the curriculum wherever you want to. Same with the songs that get unlocked inside the app. It's the same idea. We have 103 songs right now inside the app. Wow. And you can pick any song you want to. We say play level 3 to unlock a song.
Mhm.
You have to play level 3 at least to unlock a song. But you go to the browse screen and you look at all the songs that are available. You find one that you want to play. You use the tools that we have. We've also done a way of, we've created that very low touch sort of
Mhm.
way to get you engaged and playing immediately.
Mhm.
So we just have the space bar be the hotkey for the play button. And so the cursor then starts and you go all the way to the end. And then you press the space bar, it goes back to the beginning. All notes turn black again because they turn red, green, and yellow. That's the real-time feedback, right? Goes back to the beginning, cursor starts again. So it's just one tap, one touch in between ending the song and starting it again. That keeps you in that flow state, you know?
Yeah, because it does away with the frustration that a lot of ADHDers find around technology. Because I think sometimes if we can't figure out what to do or we can't get into it straight away, our brain just shuts down.
Totally, exactly.
I know enough about technology to get by. I think we're getting now to a point where I'm starting to struggle. But I think half the time, if I'm trying to learn a new skill regarding technology, my brain just shuts down because I'm just like, I've got no patience for this. That's it. I'm done.
I've got no
like, your app
patience
sounds
for it.
totally different to that.
Yeah, we're called the Duolingo of music education for a reason, because it is that bite-sized skill. It's that personalized bite-sized skills. And we give it to you in this flow state sort of way. Yeah. And then we build it from there. So you like add one skill to another skill. It's compounding. And we just keep you inside of that sight reading trainer for as long as you want to with music that you've never seen before that never repeats.
And
right?
what's amazing is you're actually talking about a very well-known theory within that regarding learning, which is called scaffolding. How do you wrap your head around a concept well enough like that to be able to develop your own app? And what was the starting point? Talk me through like the process. Did you need to bring other people on board, or did you learn all these skills yourself to be able to develop this app?
I think there's two things here, right? One is you can look at the theory of scaffolding, or you can look at the theory of flow state. You can look at the theory of putting sight reading first.
Yeah.
And then you can build something from outside in. You can do that. You can think about the larger macro ramifications of something like this and then build something that serves that. But that's not what happened for me. I looked at the way that I taught myself and said, how can I replicate that for other people? And that's where the sight reading first came in place, and then repertoire unlocked after that.
It's just amazing that it fits with such good learning theories.
I know. It's truly, we're finding that out as we're going along.
Wow.
Scaffolding, the idea of scaffolding came at us like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Okay? So like, we never even thought about that. But like, flow state was definitely a part of it. We were able to justify this methodology based on neuroscience and flow state and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I came up with the idea of sight reading first. Let's gamify it. Let's create levels, all that stuff. And then we'll have repertoire unlocked after that. We'll teach the building blocks of music that way. And then later down the road, we're going to build out an exercise section where you can dive deeper into concepts that you want to learn, right?
Doesn't it just reinforce that you're doing the right thing, though, when you have done all this from scratch and you've done it based on how you learn and are trying to help others, and then you find out, oh, hold on, it matches up with this like really good theory about learning.
Huge. The fact that we have people that are using this, that are giving insane, great feedback. We have about 40 people that are using this and paying for it right now. Okay.
Wow.
And we're wanting to get the word out. We think that this could
course.
be the like music revolution of our century, using technology to change the way that we teach music in a personalized flow state sort of way. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I brought this idea to my good friend, Stephen Gizzi, who's a music teacher. And I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And he's, no way. I've had the same thought. And he pulls up on his computer pages upon pages of notes on just what if we put sight reading first? What if we use AI to generate the music so that it never repeats and it's always personalized? Whoa, this is nuts. And I'm like, we have literally thought about the same idea. So I was like, I thought about the idea of we didn't need to use AI to generate the music, but then he considered that's how we're going to scale this product because we can't write every single phrase that you're going to see and be able to interconnect them in a way that is very flow and personalized. Okay. We need to be able to generate that stuff on the fly. And so right now, every piece of music that is in MuseFlow, we've written.
Wow.
But we're currently training an AI model that can generate music for our Unit 2 that's coming next year. And so that's how it's going to scale. And we're really excited about that. We call it Phrase Tinder. where the AI generates a phrase at a certain level. It generates a phrase and we either say yes or no. Is that written correctly? Is it musical? Does it exercise the skill?
Music.
So we got a thumbs up and got a thumbs down. Swipe left or right. That's all we need.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's how we're training our model right now. But anyway, so we had this idea. We really fleshed it out through conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, cool, what's the next step? And we were like, let's see if we can get money. And we were like, okay, great. And so we like asked a couple of venture capitalist firms and they were like, you guys have never made an app before, have you? And we were like, no, you're totally right. We have not. And they're like, okay, you need to build a proof of concept for this before we actually consider giving you. And so we're like, okay, great idea.
I hate it when all the bureaucracy gets in the way of a good idea.
But at the same time, it's no, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Because like it would be such a risk to give us hundreds of thousands of dollars and we've never built anything before.
Like, I just know it's annoying, like when you're in that flow state and you're so passionate and you're like, let's do it. And people are like, no, you need to think about the practical side. And you're like,
I know. Oh. We're like generating these great ideas and then they're like, okay, that's actually impossible to do. Anyway, then we look, okay, cool. Who are we going to ask to be our technical co-founders? We need some software engineers and we need somebody that's really good with AI. And so our first guy that we talked to he's a bassist. He's an electric bassist, a friend of Steven's from high school. They were in a band together. And the guy, he works for a financial tech company right now, making their AI algorithms. Dude's under like lock and key with his NDAs. So we can't really talk about what he does. But the point is with MuseFlow, he's come on as our guy to create these algorithms, train them with us, and then implement them, right? Yeah. So we're honored to have him. The second guy, he's a friend of a friend. We got along really well at a birthday party with him once.
Wow.
We invited him out to a hike in Malibu at one point. And then we just started talking about MuseFlow. We weren't even considering this guy. This guy was like high up in his company that he works for right now. And he's an incredible engineer. And we were like, he's never going to be interested. But we just started talking about it. And it blew his mind. The idea of all the databases that were needed to make something like this, it blew his mind. And then a week later, hey, I want a meeting. And he ended up pitching himself to to work for
I love it when that happens.
The third guy, you'll get a kick out of this. The third guy, I walked into a background jazz gig that I was supposed to do on a Sunday evening as a residency that I had. And I walked in and there's this guy just sitting at the piano playing. And I'm like, who's this guy? And I go up to the regulars and I'm like, who is this guy? And they're like, we don't know. He just comes in sometimes and starts playing. He's playing something beautiful. He was like playing this beautiful Chopin piece, right? And I go up to him and I'm like, hey, you're really good. Do you want to go back and forth and trade songs? You'll play a song, I'll play a song, you play a song, I play a song. And he's like, yeah, for sure. I live right down the street. I just come on in sometimes to play. You need to play right now? Hell yeah, let's do it. And so we went back and forth. Turns out the guy is a software engineer.
Wow.
He's a classically trained pianist.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. I buy him dinner. I butter him up a little bit, show him our pitch deck, and the guy loves it. And he came on as our third technical co-founder.
I love it.
It's us 5 that are creating this thing, and we're building it, and we have great feedback from people. And so that's where we're at now. A year later.
And that leads me into really well to the next question I have is, I'm like a big fan of education, music. Where do you feel like the future's going with music? Because I know obviously AI. I'm a writer as well as a podcast. So my concern around AI, which I'm sure concerns you have, is that when you've got AI that can write whole books or whole songs, how do you think that works with original creativity?
I do not think that AI is going to get anywhere close to human creativity. And we very much believe in humans when it comes to music education.
Yeah, because it's tailored around them.
Let me tell you what we're doing. So like the actual teaching of the technique of playing your instrument, that's very boring. Okay. The actual, here's a note, play that note. Great. Play this rhythm, learn this rhythm, embody that. That's all very boring for a piano teacher or for any music teacher. They usually give that as homework. Go home and practice this one song and then come back. And the fun part of teaching music is asking your students, okay, now that you've learned that song perfectly, how do you want to play this? Why do you want to play it that way?
Yeah.
There's many ways that we can do this, right? Crescendos, decrescendos, pianissimo, fortissimo, loud, soft, staccato, pizzicato. Do you want it to do legato? There's so many different ways that you could play notes and put
There's a
them
very
together.
human element to it, isn't there? What you're saying.
That's what gets to your soul, okay? Yes, you can play a piece technically proficient. Great. But can you emote through the instrument?
That's a good point.
That is where humans come into play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you tell me the benefits for ADHDers of using your app? And can you just briefly touch on, because I only heard about it for a little bit and I already want to get it because I'm thinking I now try to learn piano again.
The fact that we're putting flow state first and we're putting personalization first, those two things are so important for people with ADHD.
Yes.
And we're putting sight reading first. It's generating new music for you every single time. You're not playing the same thing over and over. So it's not learning it by rote. And you're not learning it in a boring context of just one specific song. No, you're learning it in a multitude of contexts. So we're engaging you on all of these points that people with ADHD they love. We have, I think out of the 40 that we have, I know for a fact that we have about 6 people with ADHD. But I bet you anything, there's probably a lot more.
Yeah. And where can you get the app as well? Is it available on all like app stores at the moment?
Not just yet. It will be soon.
Right, okay, so just to look out for it.
We're working on the app. Should be out next year, but right now you can look it up on our website.
Okay.
So the browser, use Chrome or Edge as your browser and use a laptop, and you need a MIDI compatible keyboard right now. So it's pretty much any keyboard that you can hook up to start the free trial. I'd love to give you guys a discount code. Love it to be just ADHD 50, shall we say? And so that gives your audience, anybody that uses it, it'll give them 50% off for life. For now, like anybody that wants to try it out, shoot me an email. Like, I'm here to talk. Patrick.Boylan@museflow.ai. Use the discount code. I want to see those coming on through. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear what people think about this app. I am loving to talk to our users. I love talking to them. And so getting their feedback is incredibly precious to us. So,
well, thank you so much for joining us. I think this has been an amazing conversation. And I'm sad that we have to wrap it up, really, because I feel like there's so much more we could talk about to do with music and to do with your app, but keep up the good work. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. What a pleasure.
That was such a fun episode. I'm definitely going to check out the software because hopefully it will help me to fulfill my lifelong dream of being able to play the piano. Join me next month where we'll be talking about sensory issues with someone who has developed their own sensory clothing line. Until then, take care, ADHDers and allies.